Good morning guys, welcome to Lost Phoenix Gaming. Back on Forza Motorsport 7 having a look at the challenges for the first week of April. We have Suzuka Slide, pedal to the pedals. Get a drift score of 7,500 in a single lap of a drift event at Suzuka East. That's for the Nissan Silvia Forza Edition. So here we are. This is it, this is the drift event. It's actually taken me a few goes to do this, believe it or not. It's actually taken me a few laps because it's not as easy as it initially sounds. I'm at Suzuka, which is the big famous circuit in Japan. It's known for its F1, but it does motorbike racing, does a lot of other stuff as well. And I've decided, because it's all going to be Japanese this week, everything's just Japanese. It's a celebration in Japan, it's all Japanese. So I've decided to go and get the Toyota Gibbs NASCAR out, because I've looked through the other challenges, and the challenges where you race a Mazda, you race a Honda, and I was just looking at it going, I want to represent something else. So I'm representing the Toyota here, even though Toyota aren't sort of officially in the game. It's a bit of a weird branch because of licensing, but you still have a Toyota category, so you've got the Toyota NASCAR. So trying to drift in a NASCAR is not the easiest thing in the world, and it does take me a few goes on this. So I've just done the cut to show my best lap really. So I'm going around now towards the finish line, a few little drifts, and let's see what we can get. 7,500. I don't really got any worries about that one. That's perfectly fine. And little drift across the line, and I'll do a fade, and let's have a look. My best score 9,763, so no problems on the 7.5 one, so I'd sort of got my head into it and started doing the drifts. So that's for pop-ups. I've made progress in Sakura speeding, brilliant, and I've made progress in Suzuka Slide. And I've completed Suzuka Slide. Fantastic. So let's go into a Forza screen. And there's my prize, the 2000 Nissan Silver Spec R Forza Edition. Legendary car, 150 collector's points. Managed to combine a couple of challenges there, which is quite good. But next up on Sakura Speeding, complete a race. We go at least 150 miles an hour in a Japanese car. Brilliant. I've also got a challenge to drive the Mazda at the Mazda International Speedway. So I'm going to combine the two. 159 miles an hour in a Mazda car at the Mazda Speedway. Brilliant. So yeah, so that's Suzuka Slide out of the way. Suzuka being me. Big circuit in Japan, which after this I am going to keep it till I'm going to go back to Suzuka. Sakura, I looked this one up, and I normally know quite a bit of stuff about Japan, but I forgot about this one. I looked it out, and it's the Japanese word for ornamental cherry blossom, because everything today on here, on the Forza challenges, is centred around the cherry blossom fall. It's the first cherry blossom of the year, and that normally happens just before, in April or just before, and it's a big thing in Japan. You can see I did the 159 miles an hour quite easily, but I did end up smacking into the tyre wall simply because I just needed not to brake just to cross the threshold. So I've done it. Not the prettiest thing, but it's done it. So the Mazda, it's the B0986. It's co-produced with Lola, and it's a Le Mans prototype. It's a V6 turbo, 2.2 litres, and it does shift. It moves really well. Struggling a bit on the corners with this because in order to keep the speed up, I did take the ABS off, I did take the traction control off, and I did take the stability control off. Because I wasn't quite hitting 159, so I turned it all off and I just had a go, and I did it, although the tyre wall was where we sort of ended up. But across the line, Cross the line 1 minute 50 seconds. Excellent. I'm absolutely powering through these today. So the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca full circuits. Pop-ups in my Japanese driver gear. You've made progress in Sakura speeding for the cherry blossoms. And I've completed Sakura speeding. I've also made progress in Happy Hanami, which is the celebration of flowers. Again, linked to the cherry blossom. Back to the rewards. I've got 60,000 credits for the purposes of that one. So, Happy Hanami. Complete a race in any Nissan Silvia. Okay, fair enough. There you go, Mrs. Nissan Silvia. We just won by doing the drifting event. And this time I am back at Suzuka, but originally I was on the East Circuit for the drifting when I went over to America for the Mazda Laguna Seca. And I'm back at Suzuka on the West Circuit now. So let's take it round here up against the opponent, Russ Sharp 76. Okay, fair enough, you're not doing too badly, you're keeping up with me. And Nissan Silva, or Silvia. It's a nice car, it's a nice sports coupe. And apparently it's actually quite popular with pro drifters, because apparently it's a very easy car to throw around a corner sideways. I think I might have a look at this next time I get a drifting event on one of the challenges. I might actually have a look at the Nissan Silvia and just see how it compares to something like the Hoonigan or the Ford Mustang, probably more realistically, the 15 Mustang, and just see how it goes. But it's quite a nice car. It's oversized wheels by the look of it. It's a bit of an odd profile, but quite frankly it's Japanese, and Japanese definitely have a certain style when it comes to their racing scenes, particularly the street racing scenes. And absolutely flying around here, doing brilliantly. Suzuka, yes. Designed in the 1960s, but originally the concept was by Soichiro Honda, and it was a Honda test track for quite a few years actually. It does quite a lot of stuff. It's in a lot of games as well. It's actually quite cool. You know, it's a really popular track. It's one of those world famous tracks. And little drift, little slide over the line, not too bad. 1 minute 47 seconds. Excellent. Suzuka Circuit West. 1 minute 47 versus 1 minute 51. Russ Sharp in my Mazda. Keeping it local, you know. You've made progress in Happy Hanami. Up next, win a race in a Honda. So, Suzuka once again, except this time it's for full circuit. We've had the short circuit, we've had the East Circuit, we've had the West Circuit, and we've got the full circuit. Up against Russ Sharp 76 once again, and I'm in my Honda RA300. It's the open-wheeled F1 car from the 1960s. It's pretty much the car of the 1967 F1 season. V12 engine based on Brabham design. I think everything was based on Brabham's design when it comes to open wheelers, but this was a car which was really iconic, won loads of races, and it's just really stylish, and of course decked out in the Japanese flag, which is absolutely brilliant. It's got the rising sun on the front, and having an absolute fly round Suzuka. I do like Suzuka. It's like really cool track. It's got loads of little bends and stuff like this in it. Although originally it was a lot faster track than it is now, because the chicane was added to try and slow cars down, and it's had a few little changes to improve safety and speed and stuff like this over the years as well. And it's this figure of 8 track, and it's in loads of games. It's as well as the Forza games. It's in the Gran Turismo games. It's in It's even in Project Cars, although it's not officially in Project Cars. They've got a Japanese circuit. I can't remember the name offhand. They've got a Japanese circuit, which is, for all intents and purposes, it's Suzuka. It is, it's heavily inspired, as they say in quotes, but it is Suzuka in all but name, and it's a track which a lot of F1 drivers do say it's probably one of the most fun tracks to race around, because it's got all different challenges. It's got your good straight. It's got some nice turns for chicane. Really gives them a challenge. They love it. A lot of racing drivers really think it's brilliant. And Suzuka, it's the only Japanese track on Forza. There's other Japanese tracks, race tracks, things, but it's the only one that's been licensed for the Forza game. So I'm doing all the stuff on here today, which is absolutely brilliant. So across the line, 2 minutes 25 seconds. Absolutely brilliant. Let's see who was up against. Russ in the Shelby Monaco KC. Ooh. Japanese car versus an American car, and the Japanese absolutely owned it. 5 seconds faster. So, pop-ups. I've made progress in Happy Hanami. And I've completed Happy Hanami. Let's have a look at the Forzathon screens and let's get my reward, which is for 2016 Honda Civic Type R Forza Edition. Legendary car, 205 collector's points. I think I've already got 2 of these, but never mind. You get to a point where you just end up just getting more cars than anything. But let's have a look at next week's. We've got endurance racing, stress testing for the 2016 Spania GTA Spano, which isn't a bad car. Celestial Orbits spinning around for the 90,000 credits. And American Speed slicked back here for the Jackrabbit driver gear. Obviously got the Easter theme rocking there with that driver gear. And may start, well, I'll say next week. They start this coming Friday. So I'll definitely be having a look at those. So that's that, guys. That's all of this week. So that's what we've got coming up for next week. A Japanese themed one. So if you like what I'm doing, hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave me a comment, and 見てくれてありがとう。さようなら。